And from your local election headquarters, President Donald Trump headlined the final day at the Republican National Convention. The president formally accepted his party's nomination to run for re-election. Speaking to a crowd of supporters outside the White House, where it appeared little social distancing and few people were wearing masks. The president and the GOP made law and order the central message of Trump's re-election campaign. So here to break down the Republican National Convention and what it means for the race for the White House is Morgan Lyon-Cotti from Utah's Hinckley Institute of Politics. Morgan, good morning.
Good morning.
What's the big takeaway from the Republican convention?
That's a hard question to answer, actually. It's hard to figure out exactly what the takeaway was, because there were efforts that seemed to be broadening the tent. There were efforts to really be speaking to the base. You couldn't quite get the theme. As you said, there was a lot of law and order, but there were also efforts to talk about how to sort of humanize President Trump and talk about empathy. And then the next speech would talk about how strong he was, and criticizing Biden for empathy. So it was really hard sort of to figure out what is the exact takeaway, what is the exact theme here.
Yeah, I heard a lot of different messages. You talk about the president mentioned he wanted to have a positive convention, which there was moments of that, but then they also spoke about how they painted this picture of a very divisive country under Biden's reign, if that was the case. And so you saw some of these different kind of opposing views there from the speeches in that convention. What did you make of the president's remarks that are closing out the convention?
It was a long speech, and it didn't have the kind of energy he normally likes to bring. When you see him at rallies and those different things, he loves to really be riling up the crowd. The teleprompter, as we've known for 4 years, is not his favorite. And so it was hard to feel that energy. And it seemed like the crowd also was trying to remember what it's like to be in a crowd again, right? We had this not socially distanced crowd. They're estimating it was something between 1,500 to 2,000. And it took them a little while to sort of get their groove. Their chants were off, the applause lines were a little off. So the speech just felt like a bit of a miss. Surely not what Trump was hoping for. And
maybe we see that in some of the polls too, because the president accepted the nomination. You see some of the latest polls show Biden leading in the battleground states. What do you make of how the convention will play out for the general election?
We often hear about a convention bump, and parties like to be the second one. They like to go last. So Democrats went last week, Republicans went this week, and they switch every 4 years. So we may see a bump. It will be interesting to see if those bumps occur, as you said, in those vital battleground states. One of the themes I did see during the convention was an appeal to suburban voters, but it was a risky appeal. It was really speaking in some coded language and not so coded language about violence in cities, about the loss of single-family homes. And this is risky because in 2018, it was those moderate suburban voters who swung Democratic, who helped Democrats take over the House. So we'll see if they listen and if that appeal to them works.
So where do you think the campaigns go from here?
So I think last week from the Democratic campaign, it's easy to see what their strategy is. That line is Build Back Better. For Republicans, again, it was so hard to identify what the theme was. We're not totally sure where it will be going forward. We heard Make America Great Again, and a few other things. But that may speak more to how difficult it is to run a campaign as an incumbent during hard times, during hard economic times and hard times because of COVID-19.
All right, we're just over a month away from the first presidential debate that's coming up September 29th. How much talk has been made of that already?
I think these debates will be crucial, especially because the joke has been that Vice President Biden has been running a basement campaign. People really want to see these candidates interacting in person. And people are really excited about that vice presidential debate, which will likely be between Vice President Pence and Senator Kamala Harris, which, as we know, will be right here in Utah at the University of Utah.
Yeah, some big things happening there with the work that you're doing right there at the U. Of course, Morgan, we'll check back in with you as we get closer to that debate and as we go through the election. Morgan Lyon-Cotti here from Hinckley's Institute of Politics. Thanks for joining us again this morning.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Sarah, over to you.